Hey, my name is Taylor. I do audio and music for a living, and here's how to troubleshoot a bass guitar. Whether you're in the studio or on stage, there are a few things you can do if your bass guitar is not working. If you aren't hearing your bass coming through your amp or into your speakers or wherever you need the sound to go, first check your volume. It's the first thing. When I was in middle school, I took a shop class, and every mechanic, no matter what the problem is, when they bring a car into the shop, they put it in park and turn on the keys. So this is kind of that list. So first thing you do if your bass isn't working, you check the volume. Next, you check the battery. Make sure you have battery. If you know you just changed it, check it off the list, keep moving. Next, if you get some signal but not all the signal, check your direct box. If you are going into a direct box, if you're going to an amp, it's a little bit different, but still check that input. Make sure it's plugged in. Make sure it's plugged in correctly. Direct boxes usually have an input, a through, an output, all with like a 1/4 inch cable. So make sure you're in the input and there's not a pad or a lift engaged, because those will just like lessen your signal. So make sure it's plugged in the correct spot. Make sure that button is pressed the correct way. If those things don't fix your problem, check your cable and your jack. Try to wiggle the jack on your instrument. If it makes noise, that might be the problem. But first, swap out the cable, check a different cable, maybe borrow a guitarist's cable, quick plug it in, see if you get any signal. If you don't, then you probably have a faulty jack. This happened to me recently with my bass and I had to get it fixed. But it was like 20 bucks. I took it to Guitar Center. Wasn't a tough fix. Open up the back of your bass every once in a while so you know where things are at. Especially if knobs twist a little too far and your jack is a little bit loose. Double check that. I was just too lazy to solder my own cables because I suck at it. If your bass is working and it's plugged into the correct spot and whatever, and it's still not working, check your guitar pedals if you're using them. I usually, when I play bass, I have a tuner pedal. Sometimes I have a distortion pedal. Make sure those are powered on, or passing through. Easy way to check is just to bypass that and plug directly into that direct box. If those still aren't working, then check your amp if you're using an amp. Sometimes I've seen the outputs, if you're running through an amp, the outputs go bad on those or need a switch flip. Check it out, make sure it's working. On some amps, if your treble or your bass knobs are turned all the way down, it actually kills all of your volume. So be aware of that, check those, turn those up. 12 o'clock's a good place to be. Then, after you're doing that, make sure your bass is in tune, please. Even if you're just playing the first 2 strings or the first string, make sure the whole bass is tuned. It'll make everybody love you and make you sound way cooler. So those are really the most common issues with bass guitar. You know, anything else, you can just take it to your favorite luthier or guitar repair shop, and they'll have a blast with it. So those are my best tips for troubleshooting your bass guitar. If you want more tips, you play more instruments, or you just want to get better with me, subscribe, please. Like the video, comment, share it with a bassist you know and love. Thanks. Bye-bye.